Welcome to my kitchen again. This video is, I don't know, I hope it's going to be helpful. I want to share with you some of the things I use in my kitchen and why I use them, some of the different foods I buy and why I buy them instead of others. My name is Brownell. I learned how to cook from my mother, bless her heart and rest her soul, when I was just a little shaver. She knew the importance of learning how to cook. It's not a difficult process. Use your taste buds. But there are certain spices and certain things that just go together and some that just don't, you know. Also, there are certain utensils that are important in your kitchen, and we're going to go over some of those. So, a little about me. I've owned 4 restaurants. My first one was it was called Jolly Roger's Fish and Chips, and it was in Aransas Pass, Texas. We sold primarily fried food. It was we had fish, shrimp, oysters, and fried chicken, and we made French fries, and also my version of English chips was with sliced fried potatoes. We did very well. We had a good business there. After that, I built a restaurant in Baldwin, Michigan called the Cajun Bayou. I don't know if any of you from up in that neck of the woods are familiar with it, but we had the only authentic Cajun Creole restaurant in western Michigan. From there, we moved the operation to Traverse City. We were right on Grand Traverse Bay on Miracle Mile for a while. Then I came back to Texas, and I married a wonderful woman from Mexico, and so I wound up moving into Chihuahua for a while, and I got hooked on Mexican cuisine. I love Mexican food. You know, don't get me wrong. I love the Cajun food was great. American food is great. Actually, most foods are great. There are certain things I won't eat, but after coming to Chihuahua here in this little town of Ojinaga, and made a pizza one day, and somebody said, you know, you ought to open a pizza shop. So we did. It was called Gringo's Pizza and Pasta. We sold a ton of pizzas, and so my experience as far as restaurants and cooking is, it goes back a ways. When I was a little guy, my mom got me a set of Malmac, I think it was called Malmac ware. It was a set of dishes for kids, and she also got me a little coffee pot and a little hot plate, and she encouraged me to learn how to cook. And she even had it set it up. We had a Rogers Ranch style restaurant. It was kind of cute. There was somewhere I got pictures of it. But anyway, my time in the kitchen goes back a ways. Now I'm here retired and I do pretty much as I please, but my favorite place in the whole house is my kitchen. Now in my kitchen I have things that a lot of kitchens don't have, but the things that I have in my kitchen, I don't know as I'd want to go without. Things like my deep fryer. I've got an electric deep fryer. It holds, I don't know, I think it's 4 or 5 quarts of oil. It's terrific. I do a lot of cooking with it. I have a 36-inch charbroiler that's gas that I bought for my restaurant, and I brought it down here with me, and I converted half of it to a flat top. So I have half of a flat top, half of a charbroiler. I have a 4-burner gas stove with a good oven. I like gas because remember the good old commercial, when you want it hot, baby, it's hot. Okay? So it's things like that. I got a nice side-by-side refrigerator I'm very pleased with. So without any further carrying on about that, oh, my sink. I got to tell you about my sink. I got a deep stainless steel. I love stainless steel. I got a stainless steel sink. It's a double sink and it's extra deep. It actually was a restaurant sink. And I got a hold of that and I installed it in my kitchen. I don't like these little shallow jobs they sell at the lumberyard and hardware stores and stuff that water keep. If you try to wash anything in it, you get water all over the floor. This baby, I can get in there with big pots and pans and scrub them, and I love it. So anyway, that's pretty much the way I've been. I love to experiment in the kitchen. It's one of my favorite hobbies. Uh, I find that buying brand name stuff isn't always that necessary. There are certain things, mind you, that I insist on a brand name, and we'll get into that too. But for right now, let's get started on some of the things that are essential in the kitchen. Okay, my kitchen anyway. And let's start with stainless steel stock pots. They come with a lid. Now this set, I did a video on this, an open box review on stainless steel stock pots. That set of stock pots, believe it or not, came from Harbor Freight Tools. And it is terrific. You get 4 pots, 4 lids, and it's only like $25 or $26. But they are terrific. They're easy to clean, and they cook well, and they're just fantastic. I wouldn't have a kitchen without stainless steel stock pots. Now, another reason I go with stainless steel, I have a problem with aluminum. See, I can cook up a big batch of stuff in a stainless steel pot and let it cool down, put the pot and all in the refrigerator. You don't want to do that with aluminum. You could end up with, I think what they call it is aluminum oxide poisoning. There's stuff in aluminum and it'll get into your food that's not good. Stainless steel won't do that. So stainless steel pots is essential. Another thing I have is stainless steel mixing bowls. A must. You know, you can use the plastic ones if you want, but stainless steel, can't beat it. Okay? Other things that I've got, good spatulas. This here is a wooden handle job, and it's stainless steel, and I use it constantly on things. However, if you're using your non-stick cookware, get one of these, what are they, Teflon or whatever it is. A good mixer. Now me, I've got my little Black & Decker here, and it does the job for just about anything I want. I'd love to have one of those big countertop jobs like my mom used to have, but they're expensive. This here, it's not. Okay. Other simple things. Oh, baking sheets. For example, don't waste your money on those expensive deals with the Teflon or the non-stick coating mix. These here are fantastic. I buy them for $1 a piece at Dollar Tree. No sense spending a lot of unnecessary money. Other things that I use, the simple screen strainer. I'll tell you what, this is one of the handiest little gadgets you got when you're going to strain some, like strain something you just cooked up and you want to strain it up. It beats a colander usually. Okay, we have your serving spoons. Okay, now I got 3 different kinds here. I got them with little holes, big holes, and solid spoons. Use them all the time. You can stir around in your stock pot. You can scoop stuff out. You can strain, scoop stuff out and strain it with the whole ones with stainless steel serving spoons. I gotta have them. Another thing you want is a good set of tongs. Now these, they don't have to be expensive, but I like these here. They got the little zippy do that slides on there so they don't open up. Because you always, like if you're working in a deep fryer or something, you want to puddle around in there or get something out, you're not going to reach in with your fingers. Other things is like a cookie cutter or a pizza cutter. Come on. You make a pizza, you can use a knife, but a pizza cutter is handy. Another thing you need in your kitchen is this little tool right here. This is a thermometer. It's a digital job. You can buy these on eBay for just a few dollars. And They're extremely important if you're going to do deep frying, because when you're cooking in a deep fryer, you want your deep fryer oil at 375 degrees. That is the best temperature for cooking fried fish, shrimp, oysters, chicken, French fries, almost anything you want to put in fryer. 375 degree oil is essential. Now, I also, like on here, this is my cookware that I buy. It's just a fry pan, and I buy those at I think it was Dollar General, I think it was. And it's, it's actually probably one of the best frying pans I've ever bought. I bought those expensive ones in the restaurant business, and they didn't last any longer. These, in fact, have lasted longer than my expensive restaurant jobs. A rolling pin. Gotta have a rolling pin. Probably one of my most important utensils in the kitchen are my knives. I've got two of them that I use constantly. This Big Bear and this one here. Now these are quality knives. You don't want to skimp on these. Buy a good one. You can get both of these on eBay if you want, but you can also, there's a lot of places where you can buy knives. But get good knives, and and keep a sharpening stone to keep because you're going to have to keep doing that. I like these too. This is you can pick these up at I don't know where I got this one. Maybe, I don't know if it's Dollar Tree or someplace. But they're really handy. They're handy for, cutting dough or scraping your counter off. Good thing to have. You're going to want a pair of scissors in your kitchen too for opening packages with. And as we get down here, that's one of the last things I want to mention. Measuring cups. I buy the Pyrex or glass measuring cups. 1 cup, 2 cup, and 4 cup. I like the glass ones for several reasons. One, you can see in them better and see what you're doing. 2, they clean up a lot easier and a lot better. And 3, they last longer. You can put them in the microwave. You can all kinds of stuff with these things that you're not going to do with those plastic ones. I use these. I get these because they got the little teaspoon, tablespoon, and what have you measurements. If for stuff like salt and what have you like that. But when it comes down to real measuring your products or your food out, I like the glass. It's unbeatable. Now we've talked about some of that. Let's talk. Oh, don't forget your hot net. I got 2 or 3 of these babies. Actually, I got a whole bunch of them. I think I got 4 or 5 of them. I buy these at Dollar Tree too. They cost $1 a piece. Gotta have them. Those pots and pans can get awful hot, especially when you're taking pans of cookies and what have you out of the oven. You gotta have them. Okay. Now, remember I told you that there are, when I'm buying grocery products, if I'm going to buy canned goods or food that is prepackaged, there's some things that I want that are brand name. Now, for example, if I want to make a peanut butter sandwich, I want Jif. And I like this new all natural peanut butter that they've got too, because it contains 90% peanuts. Okay? But if I'm cooking with peanuts or with peanut butter, for example, peanut butter pie. I just did a video on peanut butter pie. The generic brands are just fine for something like that. Okay? Salad dressings are a thing. This is another biggie I use a lot. Miracle Whip. Miracle Whip, it's different than most. I can't explain what it is, but I use this instead of most any kind of mayonnaise or salad dressings. I make my tartar sauce with this. I put it on my sandwiches. I make salad dressings with it and everything. The other thing is ketchup. Now, This is something I'm a little different I'm trying. This is a Cloverdale ketchup, but I got a feeling it's like Heinz. To me, Heinz ketchup is one of the best ketchups on the market. I don't care what anybody says about it. It's Heinz or something about it. It's just a better tasting ketchup. I use it like when I'm making stuffed peppers. I use it for making my shrimp sauce. All kinds of things I use ketchup for. And I want good ketchup. Heinz, I hate to say it, I don't hate to say it, but I got to tell you, I believe is the best tasting ketchup for my recipes. I've tried Hunt's and some of the other brands, and they just don't get it. Another thing, if you're baking cookies, for example, I've been baking a lot of chocolate chip and butterscotch chip, peanut butter chip cookies. I don't buy the Tall House brand chocolate chips. Look here. There's Cloverdale, for example. These are chocolate chips. Butterscotch chips. These are Surefine. Okay? Same size package, a whole lot less expensive, and ain't a nickel's worth of difference in the taste. You put those babies in your cookies, you'll be just as happy as if you bought those expensive Tall House jobs. Mushrooms. I use mushrooms a lot. Dollar Tree has these glass jars of mushrooms. Okay? They're $1 a jar. And they're actually bigger than those little cans of mushrooms you buy for $1 or $1.25 that are brand name. And these are good. Plus, I use the jars for various things. Now when it comes to canned goods, like diced tomatoes, what have you, stuff like that. I don't buy the brand names. I get, the cheapest ones I can get. Now, I do like these Rotel diced tomatoes with chili. I buy them in the regular, hot, and mild. These happen to be the original. There it is, Rotel. The other one is the Clover Valley brand. This one here is Clover Valley. This is Rotel. This is the original brand. Okay? But I have found this one here, the Cloverdale brand that I get at Dollar General, is about 30 or 40 cents a can less, and I can't tell the difference. I've tried them both. I can't tell the difference. And soups. Campbell soups. We all know Campbell's makes a good soup. But when you're cooking and mixing like cream of chicken or cream of mushroom or some of these other soups that you want to put into your recipe, here they are. It's the same size can, but about half the price. So like I said, there again, there's no reason to be spending a lot of money on your canned goods. One of the things I do insist on is olive oil. I cook in olive oil. Anything that's going to go in a frying pan, or if I want to saute onions, I don't care. I use olive oil. And I don't really believe it makes a whole lot of difference which brand of olive oil you use, but I use olive oil. I don't use corn oil or vegetable oil or any of that other stuff. However, in my deep fryer, that takes a gallon or more, 4 to 5 quarts, I'll use a canola oil in there. It holds up well and it cooks well. Okay? For the rest of my food that I cook, I try to use fresh ingredients. Now, every supermarket almost has a produce section. And that's where you want to get your best produce. Use that. Use your produce section. Pick out the freshest looking and smell it and feel it, and pick out the best. Now, I'm fortunate. Where I'm at, we have a supermarket called All Super, and it has by far probably the best produce department I've ever seen in a grocery store. I mean, the stuff they have is fantastic. prices are good. Everything is fresh, crisp, and just the smell when you walk into a good fresh produce department, it's hard to beat. Now my meat, depending on what I'm buying. If I'm going to buy beef or pork or chicken, generally I'll go to the Carney Mart, which is the meat market here in town, and for several reasons. For one reason, that's all they sell is meat, okay? And so it a lot of times is better quality. But other than that, if I go into the Carney Mart and I say I want a steak and I want that baby an inch thick, I get an inch thick steak. If I want it thin, they'll cut it any way I want it. I buy a lot of chicken breast filet. Down here they call it pechuga de pollo, but I buy a lot of chicken breast because I make a lot of dishes with chicken. And that chicken breast from the Carney Mart is always an excellent buy, and they're big. Now, sometimes it's all super. They run sales on chicken leg quarters that are big, okay, and they're cheap. And so I'll buy 3 or 4 kilos of that, and I'll bring it home and I'll cook it up, take the skin, debone it, and use it for all kinds of things. Chicken enchiladas, chicken soup, chicken stew, chicken sandwiches, you name it. But generally, most of my meat comes from the Carney Mart. Now, if I can't go fishing, well, either All Super or the Carney Mart both have good fish. I like to buy black bass. Down here, I can buy black bass in the frozen food section of the meat department, or I can get it from the Carney Mart in frozen foods. But I like my fish. Shrimp, oh, that's a toss-up. Just wherever you can get it, I guess. The only thing about shrimp is depends on what you want it for. You can get 1620s, 2125s, 2630s, 3035s, whatever size you want. Those numbers are simple. They mean like a 2125. That means you're going to get between 20 and 21 and 25 to a pound. So keep that in mind. I don't know what else to tell you. Watch the expiration dates on some of your foods, like especially dairy products. I'm really fortunate down here because down here I can get Chihuahua cheese. Chihuahua cheese to me is probably the best cheese I've ever had anywhere in the world. Now up there, it kind of compares to I would say I buy a Chihuahua Laurel cheese mostly, and it kind of compares to a cheddar, a little bit sharp, but not too sharp, of a cheddar. But it's a white cheese, kind of like Monterey Jack. So when you see any of my cheese recipes, pretty much you can substitute the Chihuahua cheese for just about any kind of cheese you want, whether it be Swiss cheese or whatever. I just don't like using mozzarella. To me, mozzarella ain't even cheese. I don't know what that stuff is. I'll shred up cheddar cheese, or I'll shred up, especially my Chihuahua cheese, and put it on a pizza or in a dish where you want a melted cheese before I'll use mozzarella. So I don't know what else I can cover here. Enjoy your kitchen. Experiment. Experiment. Food is, well, let's face it, you got to have it. And as long as you got to have it, you might as well have what you like. And you might as well make it taste as good as you can. You know, my mother always had a secret, because I put on a few pounds myself. But my mom always told me, she says, never trust a skinny chef. And I think, you know, there's a bit of logic there. I remember back in my hometown, we had a little restaurant up there, and the chef in there, he was a real roly-poly little guy. but his food was excellent. So don't worry about a few pounds. Hey, you know, a lot of women like a little extra on them. So anyway, without much more, I don't know what else oh, there is too. I buy these things. All right, they're plastic storage containers. Now, you can go to the grocery store or wherever and buy those expensive Glad or whatever they are. I go to Dollar Tree and I get a package. You get 4 of them for $1. I get them in different sizes, and they can anywhere from big ones that are $1 a piece to these smaller ones, and even smaller than this, that come 3, 4 for $1, and they work every bit as good. I like them. So let me see if there's anything I'm forgetting. Oh. Another must in your kitchen, and I use this stuff a lot. Lowry seasoning salt. Lowry seasoning salt. You can season just about anything. I use it on my steaks, on my hamburger. I'll use it on chicken. I'll use it on. I even use it in my crackers when I mix up my coating mix for my fish and my shrimp and oysters. This stuff is fantastic. It's not that expensive. Look at here, $2.49 for that big jar of Lowry's. So make sure you've got some of that in your kitchen. Anyway, I think that about covers things for this video. And so, from my kitchen to yours, let's have some fun. I hope you enjoyed the video, and hope to see you next time. And I hope it was helpful. And if you like what you see, leave a comment. Or if you have suggestions, leave a suggestion. And subscribe to the little button down there at the bottom. I guess you can subscribe to my videos, because I'll be making a lot more of them. And I'm enjoying this, and I'm having fun. So, till the next time, from my kitchen to yours, hasta luego.